You know what? Maybe rent to rent's not for you. I'm sorry. It's just not right for you. Just turn this video off, unsubscribe. You don't want to do this. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why rent to rent is not for you. Sorry, bro. I'm Simon, rent to rent specialist and mentor, and over the past 5 years, I've built 3 7-figure property businesses, all right? And I've completely transformed my life through this little strategy called Rent to Rent 2.0, aka the art of cash flowing property you don't own. Now, we actually have 30,000 people in our community and it's growing every day. And I've helped so many people completely change their lives. But there's also people that no matter what I do, no matter how content, no matter how much help, mentorship, whatever, it doesn't matter. But they're not getting the results because guess what? It's just not for you. So if you watch this video, my promise is by the end of this video, you're gonna know if it's for you. And if it's not for you, that's okay. You can move on to another one of these hippie property strategies. You can go on one of these crash courses, run to the back of the room and give it a go. But right here, I'm all about creating massive results and taking massive action. So let's get into it. 5 reasons why. And I've got to shout out all my people on Instagram, especially JB, who came up with this title. So look out for this video. I really appreciate you. So number 1, you've got no why. Okay? No why, you ain't getting nowhere. And the reason for that is because when it gets hard, what's going to drive you is your why. Now, my why was I was 30 something. Okay, I had no predictable income. I had no assets. I had no property. All right, I had no pension and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was about to get married. I couldn't afford the wedding. And I didn't know what my financial next steps were. So I had the fear in me. That was my why. I lent on that. And I'll never forget, at one point I was looking for other jobs and trying to make more money and get something more stable. And I essentially ended up outside of Co-op, drenched, okay, selling insurance to passerbys. And I realized I had to make a change. So number 1, if you've got no why, rent to rent is not for you. Sorry. Number 2 is no education. That doesn't mean you need to be fully educated right now. And the fact is, if you're watching this channel, then you are taking steps to get educated, which is great. But rent to rent is a specialist strategy and it can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know how to do your figures, you don't know how to do your legals, you leave yourself too short and haven't got the finance to actually make this work, it can be very dangerous. So if you're not willing to get educated, right, then please turn this off. It's not for you. Number 3 is no work ethic. All right, it's going to be hard work, at least at the beginning. You need to get set up. You need to do your market research. You need to know exactly how to source deals, secure deals. And then the real work starts because you need to set up the property. You need to do all the marketing, make sure the property is fully compliant, the systems, the operations, yada, yada, yada. You get it. There's a lot of work to do, which means, yes, you need to get educated. And yes, it is going to be tough, especially if you've got a family, a full-time job, and you're trying to start this at the same time. So if you're not willing to put the work in and you want a quick buck, this is not for you. Turn this video off. Number 4 is no resilience, all right? If you're not resilient, if you've not got thick skin, you will struggle with rent to rent because I guarantee you are going to have to hear a lot of no's. There are going to be situations where landlords just say no, agents say no, or maybe for a while you think it's possible, but then they have cold feet and it results in a no. There's all these things that are going to come up. I mean, I actually had a landlord at the beginning that gave me the keys to a property and then I had to give them back because they changed their mind. So you need to get thick skin in this business. And if you've not got that, then maybe this isn't for you. And last but not least, and by the way, this is one of the most common reasons I see people fail and give up, is no patience. Rome was not built in a day. Look at it like this. If you was to buy to let a property, it would take you months to find it. You'd have to view it. You'd have to put an offer. You'd have 6 to 9 months of legals. You'd then have to do a refurb. It could take you a year to a year and a half to receive your first rental income. So why is it in rent to rent we try and source deals for 6 weeks, can't, and then give up? You've got to be patient. But the key thing is, if you've got a strong why, if you're educated, if you put the work ethic in, and if you've got resilience, then you will win. I guarantee it. And I see this with hundreds of people that I've coached and helped on this journey. And a little bit on that, whilst we're talking about mentorship and coaching and education, right? What I like to say is that I put out so much free information that if you just delve into it, if you like compute it, if you put it to work, if you go through things, if you apply it, if you study it, if you master it, if you practice it, you can do it off this channel alone, I promise you. But if you do think, actually, do you know what? I'd like to do it quicker. I'd like to do it in half the speed with Simon's help. Then hit the link below, book a call. I'd love to do a rent-to-rent strategy call with you to figure out exactly how we can do this in half the time and get you twice the results. I appreciate you, I really do. If you're not already subscribed, hit the button and I'll see you lot in the next video.